Oh, welcome boys and girls, I'm Scuba Winters, and today we're here with the full patch notes, or the more complete patch notes, for patch 7.5 and Final Fantasy XIV. So, with the complete patch notes, the only thing they add is class adjustments. So we're gonna skip all of the main stuff because we already covered that in the preliminary patch notes video. So we're just going to go down and just talk about the battle system changes. Okay, so starting off, we have Warrior. Inner Chaos gets buffed from 660 to 700. Primal Ren gets buffed from 700 to 720. Primal Ruination gets buffed from 780 to 800. Samurai gets, I'm gonna attempt with these spellings, but Midari Tsutsuki, and the follow-up attack gets the trait Way of the Samurai has been changed from 640 to 680. Reaper, Gluttony the Potent has been increased from 520 to 560. Void Reaping, potency increased from the trait Melee Mastery 3 has been changed from 560 to 580. Enhanced Void Reaping potency increased from the trait Melee Mastery 3 has been changed from 620 to 640. Cross Reaping potency has been... Okay, yeah, it's the same thing. So Void Reaping and Cross Reaping, both buffed by 20 potency. Viper. Okay, let me get all of Viper here. Vicewinder potency had increased by 500 to 540. Undercoil potency has been increased from 570 to 630. Swiftskin's coil potency has been increased from 570 to 630. Rear potency has been increased from 620 to 680. Oh yeah, flank potency has been increased by 620 to 680, so make sure to get your positionals right. They're a bit stronger now, and actually pretty significantly stronger. And for your whole blue flame combo here, the trance combo, Reawaken first generation, second, third, fourth generation Ouroboros, first, second, third, fourth. Yeah, legacy. Reduction in potency after the first target has been changed from 80% to 75%. So, a slight buff with it as a buff, right? Yes. Always just due to how it's worded, always mess with me. Okay, Summoner. Pain Flare potency has been increased from 150 to 220. Ruby Right potency, after learning the trait Arcane Mastery, has been changed from 580 to 620. Crimson Cyclone potency, upon learning the trait Arcane Mastery, has been changed from 520 to 560. Crimson Strike potency, upon learning the Arcane Mastery trait, has been changed from 520 to 560. Necrotize potency has been increased from 460 to 500. And for Sage, Phlegma 3 potency has been increased from 600 to 690. Accretion Doses 3 potency, upon learning the trait Magic Mastery, has been changed from 85 to 95, and Physic has been changed from... Wait, Psyche? Psyche has been changed from 600 to 690. And also, the use of items can now be queued in Execution. This was in the old patch notes, but still worth noting. The only other thing they have here is PvP. Also, they have known issues, resolved issues, which I don't think they had in the first notes, because I don't remember reading them. And I just passed all the PvP updates. Okay, so now we have PvP updates. all jobs. Recuperate. Cure potency has been increased from 1500 to 1600. Guard reduction of damage has been increased from 90 to 99%. Jesus, you ain't taking any damage. But they did also adjust how battle high works, so most likely people are going to be in battle high more, so you're probably going to have more strength, because I think you can't lose battle high now, if I read it right. Okay, so melee DPS, so this is the roll action. Bloodbath increase the damage has been changed from 10% to 25%. Smite now ignores the effect of guard while dealing damage. Healing? Cast time has been made instant. Cure potency has been increased from 1500 to 1600. Or 16,000, I mean. Potency has now been reduced to 8,000 when targeting self. For Dragoon, Chaotic Spring, amount of damage dealt absorbed as HP has been increased from 150% to 200%. Horrid Roar. Recast time has been reduced from 24 to 20 seconds. Ninja. Misui. Regen potency has been increased from 4,000 to 5,000. Samurai. The first skill. I'm not gonna butcher these. Potency of the barrier created when attacking 2 or more targets has been reduced from 10,000 to 8,000. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Yeah, second skill. Increase to HP recovered via healing action has been reduced from 20% to 15%. Third skill. Potency of the barrier created when attacking 2 or more targets has been reduced from 10,000 to 8,000. The fourth skill. Cure potency has been reduced from 10,000 to 8,000. Third or fifth skill. Cure potency has been reduced from 10,000 to 8,000. So Samurai is not getting as much healing. Hopefully not too much. Blood Coil. Potency has been increased from 8,000 to 10,000. Well, we see where the Samurai buffs went to. It went straight to Viper. Slither. Movement speed has been increased from 25 to 50%. This skill. Zinguni Feast. I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but whatever. Potency has been increased from 8,000 to 10,000. World Swallower. The additional effect, absorb 50% of damage dealt as HP, has been added. Yeah, okay, so they definitely got the healing from Samurai. Curing Waltz. For Dancer, Curing Waltz. Cure potency has been reduced from 12,000 to 10,000. Okay, Black Mage Xenoglossy. Cure time has been reduced from 16 seconds to 15 seconds. Flare. Potency has been increased from 13,500 to 15,000. Freeze. Potency has been increased from 9,000 to 10,000. Soul Resonance. The effect duration of Elemental Star has been increased from 30 to 60 seconds. Summoner. Mountain Buster. The additional effect reduces damage taken by 15% has been added with a duration of 5 seconds. Red Mage. Corpicors is the effect of Monomancy has been increased. With increased damage dealt to target has been increased from 10% to 15%. The effect of Monomancy has been reduced, which reduces damage taken, has been increased from 10 to 15%. Okay. I can read. It's very early when I'm recording this, so I want to start bleeding the patch. Fort. Or Forte? I don't know. Do you pronounce the E in this? Let's go with Forte. Effect duration has been increased from 4 to 5 seconds. Victomancer. Smudge. Duration of increased movement speed after the effect has been reduced from 4 to 3 seconds. Retribution of Medine potency has been reduced from 1600 to 1400. Or White Mage. Cure 3, potency no longer reduced after the first target. That's kind of dumb that it was split damage like that. Well, good thing it's no longer an issue. Sage. Wait. Did we also have... Oh, it was the other battle. I'm like, I thought he went through Sage. Numa. Recast time has been reduced from 30 seconds to 28 seconds. Okay, so that is it for battle changes. Usually after like a while, they add all of the items and armors that have been introduced, but it's not here now. Okay, so we go down to resolved issues, which there's a lot of resolved issues, and a few known issues. So, we have an issue with the quest in search of meaning, with the icon indicating quest progression in the duty list would not display correct under certain conditions. An issue in the Great Google Library wherein using duty support Alphino would summon the incorrect type of pet. Oh no. An issue in the dead ends wherein the player are KO'd by the status of Doom inflicted by the boss Ra'ala. The status Willful will not activate. Oh no, you don't get your extra lives. An issue wherein undertaking Alexandria with duty support or trust wherein the players are KO'd while affected with the status paralysis caused by a certain boss action. The status would remain upon recovering HP through the status Willful. An issue in the Pool of Tribute Extreme, wherein the sword would regenerate HP. Oh no, because that's what this is. That sucks. An issue when entering Everkeep with duty support, where in certain conditions the battle would proceed even when the player is outside the boundary. Oh no. An issue in the Merchant's Tale where the graphics would not display correctly when idling camera is enabled. Issue in Merchant's Tale wherein certain conditions the tether marker for the Lonesome Swordsman the Load Swordsman action Malefic Portent would not display. An issue in the Merchant's Tale wherein when moved to a sealed area during a certain boss battles, the player coordinates would be incorrect. An issue in Pilgrim's Traverse, when under certain conditions, the effect of poison fruit incense would not be instantaneous. Okay. An issue in Pilgrim's Traverse, when the action Abyssal Transfixion used by the invoked archdemons appeared in stones 81 to 99, inflicted the paralysis status, had no effect. The action has been revised to no longer inflict paralysis. Okay, so that's okay. An issue in the Occult Crescent Southhorn, upon entering the Fork Tower Blood, the status Quicker Step granted by Dancer Phantom Job would not fade. Oh no. An issue wherein certain fates, wherein under certain conditions, the maximum HP of the target would be incorrect. Let me just make sure. An issue with Gunbreaker wherein the executing Bloodfest after Royal Guard with the job gauge in simple mode, the color of the power gauge would not return to normal even after the effect of Bloodfest has been ended. Wait, let me just do this. The issue with Bard, wherein the help text of PvP action Ephemeral Arrow did not mention the additional effects for the enhanced Ephemeral Arrow trait. The issue with Blue Mage, when performing the Blue Mage action Hydro Pull on the Magitech in laser field in Alamigo would produce the target, or reduce the target not in line of sight arrow. Imagine pulling the whole laser thing. That would actually be funny. An issue wherein voices did not play when executing certain PvP or PvE actions. An issue with the effect Guard when not applied during PvP, wherein movement speed was incorrectly affected. An issue with the character getting stuck on terrain during the frontline campaign, Warcraft Tritet. Issue where certain NPCs would not appear during the gate, Air Force One, the Sedalis Mac only. An issue when speaking to NPCs, Oplu and Tuliolo, when certain items were displayed in correct order in the shop menu. An issue when speaking to NPC Researching Way, when the items were displayed in correct order in the Cosmic Tool replica window. An issue with the following weapons, when the service to be died was incorrect. So it's the axes? I don't remember what axes these were. I want to say the Heavensward relics? Because that's the only thing I remember being hyperconductive. Might have been a different expansion, but I don't remember. Okay. An issue wherein certain portion of Zero's order flancher is miscolored after being dyed. Issue when riding the Mount Hardy Daytona, wherein characters or mount graphics would not display correctly for certain races. An issue with the Mount Hardy Daytona, when performing certain commands with the keyboard, could not produce a sound effect. An issue when riding the Mega Shiba, wherein moving while executing an action would not cancel the action. An issue when riding a Mount Hovering Hotpot, where motions would not be performed correctly when using certain actions. An issue when the wrong background music would play when riding the following Cosmic Counterstance, Volatile Gravity Vacuum Suit, a Cosmic Armored Weapon, and Alert Red Warp Loader. So, all of the Oizos mounts? It's looking like? An issue wherein executing certain actions available when mounted at roughly the same time as mounting would prevent the ability to change jobs afterwards. An issue wherein the change pose emote was unavailable after drawing a weapon or performing emotes sit on ground while using the torch fashion accessory. Vipers with an unsheathed combined weapon could not use the change pose emote regardless of torch function or torch fashion accessories usage. Okay, well that's good. Issue where the fashion accessory would deactivate upon stepping on top of the device. to use to move in solution 9. An issue with certain graphics, the Corvosi sofa did not display correctly. An issue with the housing, where adjusting the interior design of a free company estate would also affect the private chambers of the estate. Oh no, that sucks. Wait. I was like, yeah, can you change it for your room? I mean, I guess that would make sense, because the rooms are just tied to whatever the housing style is. So yeah, if you change the interior design, the private rooms would also be changed. I wonder if we're able to do this ourselves then. That would be nice to have that for apartments. Apartments and the room, so. An issue with the mech op direction, mine Fanite in Vienna. In the cosmic exploration, where in the quicksand pits would become inaccessible after moving far away enough for their indicator to disappear, even while the mount action excavator beam remained available. An issue wherein the items obtained by desynthesizing fish acquired from the content of Tyrol were incorrect. The continent of Tyrol. Were you not supposed to get fine sand? Because that would be nice. Or were you just getting like older materia or something? That's my guess. You're probably not getting the newest materia. An issue wherein the item Quahog added in 7.4 was incorrectly categorized. An issue when accessing the command panel when using the gamepad, wherein pressing the Y or triangle button and moving the cursor while flying on a mount would cause the mount to ascend. An issue when accessing the command panel when executing while using a gamepad, wherein under certain conditions the cursor would move 2 slots even when the Y or triangle button was not pressed. An issue with the strategy board when displayed presets were incorrect in certain conditions. The issue in editing strategy boards while using the gamepad or in the control guide at the bottom of the strategy board would display invalid controls. Oh, wait, this is 2 separate ones. The issue when the help text for the text command battle target was incorrect. This is a text-only issue. The correct description, is as follows: the targets the closest enemy within a certain radius on the screen that is attacking you. The issue wherein the help text or the text command cross hotbar and PvP crossbar or cross hotbar were incorrect. This is a text-only issue. The explanation has been been added for instances where the slot name has been omitted. Other minor text issues have been addressed. Okay, known issues. There's a handful. Okay, an issue when undertaking the inconceivably further Hildebrand adventure quest, Meteorites and Meteor Wrongs, introduced in patch 7.45, wherein after the final cutscene fades to black, the screen remains black and the quest cannot be completed. We're working to expedite the resolution of this issue. In the interim, however, players who encounter this issue must close and restart the client to resume playing. We apologize for the inconvenience and thank you for understanding. So they did say there is no workaround for this, though I'm curious if you can just skip the quest or skip the cutscene if that works. Like, just watch it normally, have to restart the game and then restart it, and then just skip the cutscene. Though that might be an issue of, like, I think the issue is probably bringing up the actual quest. Like, you completed the quest that happens at the end of some cutscenes, and it's probably not showing up. So that sucks. But it is for the 4.5 one, so you probably have already been dealing with this issue. If you've had this issue, so an issue when playing the warrior job quest, Pirates of Shallow Water, where certain NPC graphics do not display correctly. An issue with a support action, or an issue when a support action is set on the hotbar while entering certain duties where a duty action is available, wherein the support action would erroneously display the icon of the duty action. Wait, what support actions are they talking about? I'm not actually sure how this works. But either way, it's just the icon, so hopefully the skill itself doesn't get changed. An issue with Arcanist and Summoner, wherein executing the actions with certain pets result in incorrect motion displaying when the summoned pet leaves the battlefield. An issue in the Bannock in the Central Shroud, where the striking dummy displayed the incorrect level and the reset striking dummy ability. Subcommand is unavailable. Move far away from the striking dummy in order to disengage the combat. Yes, that's a thing. Honestly, it took me way too long to know that this is a thing. Okay, an issue where the following undieable gear displayed the die channels or die icons and die subcommand, allowing the item dying window to be erroneously opened. Moogle head, Moogle body, Moogle arms, Moogle buns, and Moogle legs. Attempting to die at these items results in an error message, and no die pots will be consumed. Attempting to die at these items in the Squadron Outfitter window will result in an error message, and dying will not take place, despite the visual changes to the member's gear. This graphical change is not permanent, and the gear will be reverted to the original state upon reopening the Squadron Outfitter window or changing areas. Are you not able to dye the Moogle set? I guess you gotta keep them white. An issue with certain minions introduced in patch 7.5, where incorrect graphics are displayed on PlayStation 4 and Xbox Series S, or when using standard texture resolution for Windows and Mac. This issue does not occur on PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. Issue with the eye settings in group pose menu, where the eyelid graphics display incorrectly, or face type 2 on male dusk white Ellison, when eyelids are adjusted to the 0 setting. An issue where an NPC dialogue will display in Japanese during certain parts of the 7.5 main scenario quest. So that is it. That's it for the new patch notes. So there's your issues, there's your job changes. So I hope you all have been informed. If you did enjoy this video or found this informative, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. I hope you all enjoy patch 7.5, and I hope you all come back again. I've been Scuba Winters, and until then, bye.